This video will cover setting up new users as well as managing existing user accounts. To do this, I'm going to head over to Settings and Users. Now, the pricing and maintenance assistant is based on a per user basis. So if you want to add another user outside of what you are currently paying for, you need to add that user under your account settings. That's covered in a different video. So for now, I'll walk you through the process of creating a new user by clicking New at the top. The first thing I'll do here is enter their full name. Okay, the full name is important because this is what will show up when you're selecting people for work orders or things like that. You'll be searching by their full name, not their username in most cases. Okay, so I have their full name. I have the option of entering a personal code or a title. And the email is actually fairly important. If Nate goes to recover his password, or if he elects to have messages sent to an email address, those obviously go here. Telephone and hourly rate are optional. Hourly rate in particular is only able to be set by administrators, so Nate, when he logs in, won't be able to edit this. Okay, this is important if you plan on doing cost tracking, so tracking the amount of labor hours Nate's put in on a certain work order and what that cost you. Okay, the username and password are actually the only mandatory fields here. I'll fill this in as something simple so Nate can change it when he logs in. And the session timeout dictates what length of inactivity he can have in his account before it logs him out. If I leave this blank, it'll resort to the default, which is about 20 minutes. Okay, and I'll save periodically so I don't lose the information. Okay, the Groups tab indicates what user group you want Nate to be a part of. So the default is that he's part of the Technicians group. If I want to give him more privileges, I'll either make him a manager or an administrator. And really the point of user groups is twofold. The first is to dictate what level of permission they have. So obviously a technician doesn't have much, whereas an administrator has everything. And it's also used to organize workflow. So there will be times when you assign a work order to an entire group. So in that sense, placing people into the right groups can help you organize where the work order goes. Okay, the Reports To tab. This has two functions. So in this case, I'm going to make Nate report to me. And this means that I'll be able to see Nate's calendar. And the second thing it does is if he has a certification that's going to expire, it'll alert me, the person he reports to, a month before the certification expires. So to see what this looks like, I'll head to the dashboard and calendar. And so I have the option here of looking at just my calendar or people who report to me. So for instance, because Nate reports to me, I can click on him and view what he has coming up. Okay, the Messaging tab is Nate's messaging settings. Basically, what he can choose is to have messages sent to an email, the email address he entered over here, or have them sent to his onboard messaging folder, which is really just the notifications folder here. Okay, there's a few other settings about what kinds of messages he wants, but that's covered in much more depth in a different video. So the Files tab, which you'll see in a lot of other places, allows you to upload files from your computer and store them against Nate's account. So the most common use of this is for people to upload pictures of themselves. And I've got a picture of Nate here. When I set the file type to default image, that ensures it'll show up in his user profile in the top left. Okay, certifications. If Nate has something like he's HVAC certified or has some kind of other certification, it allows you to upload, or rather store the details of that, a description, and then you can also set an expiry date. So if I set this for November 21st of next year, a month before this, it'll alert Greg, who is Nate's manager, that his certification is about to expire. Okay, finally the log just shows a snapshot of things that are assigned to Nate. So because he's in the technicians group, he automatically gets assigned a lot of these work orders, as well as a few assets. Okay, finally to activate Nate's account, I would switch it from inactive to active, which means he can now log in. And because this is the first time I've activated his account, he'll get an email sent to this address with his login credentials.